And I wanna deep dive into the young brother Takashi 6ix 9ine.
Oh boy,
I do want to do that because the
king of New York.
Well, yeah, apparently, apparently, and we're gonna talk about that because I'll be real, I never even listened to dude before this moment right here. So before his Breakfast Club interview, to be clear. So when I seen this, I was like, wow, this kid looks a little crazy, and I was happy that he acknowledged it.
Yeah,
he was like, he was like, I look fucking ridiculous. I was like, okay, so he's very self-aware.
I was just gonna say it. He knows who he is.
I'm like, son is really self-aware of this.
Yeah.
Like, man, I never thought I would hear somebody say that, but sure enough, he did. And of course, my phone is trash as I try to add you to this IG live, so we can get a mix of reactions from people. Shout out to my cousin Kevin. What up? What up, Kev? I can wave. I have the option to wave. All right. So this is the Banging on Lunch Tables podcast. We're about to deep dive into Takashi 6ix 9ine, pause, because that's what the hip hop people do right now.
Yeah, all the time.
What's going on? There you go. Hey, my other cousin. Hey, their whole family is on here. What's up, Lonnie Yo Show? What's up, Manish? You know what I'm saying? So real quick, as you get set here with the live, Takashi 6ix 9ine.
Right.
I knew of him, and I'll say this. I knew of him, but it was only from what I've seen on the internet. So if people are like, "Yo, this kid is wilding," he's out here doing like God knows what. He's threatening people to pull up on him, which I'm not mad at, and we'll talk about here in a minute.
We got to get into that.
You know what I'm saying? And he was just speaking in a manner that was, people think is reckless, but I honestly don't, based on what was being said. And I want to talk about that really quickly because what we have here is a young guy, I think, who just really knows where he is and what he's doing as far as navigating in hip-hop present day.
Is that me?
It might be me. So I'm sorry, y'all. If y'all can't hear this, let me know. I'm gonna turn my volume down just in case.
Make sure we go with the audio.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so with that, I sat here and I thought, what's his angle? Like, who is his OGs?
Right.
Just like Charlamagne asked him.
Yes.
And when an OG came forward and was just like, hey, ain't nothing happening to him. He's navigating, he's trolling, he's doing what the young kids do.
Man, I got a lot to say about that part too.
I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do because I was literally sitting there like, where do we draw the line, I guess?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And how soon do we make this whole thing serious or lighthearted, period, like for good?
Man, you know what? It's so much to it. I'll say this. Takashi 6ix 9ine has whack OGs. Like,
okay.
like you can tell, like, you come from, I hate to say this, but fuck it. Dude, like, he comes from a long line of trash OGs. Because for the older dude to accept that shit and be like, well, you know, this is what the kids do. They get online and talk shit and they troll. Why are you co-signing that nonsense, fam?
Yeah.
Like, you supposed to guide this dude and be like, yo, fam, that's not the move. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he does what he want to do after that, that's on him. But as the manager, for you to just be like, nah, that's okay. This is what they do. You come from a whack OG. Your OG is whack as hell. So that's like 3 generations of trash right there. But like for real. Like for you to accept that shit and be like, well, yeah, that's just what I know that's what the kids do. But everything that the kids do ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like even shit I used to do back in the day. Somebody be like, yo, man, you wildin', you might want to correct that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna run into a brick wall.
Right.
For him to like, dude look like he about our age, about like in his 30s or something like that.
Absolutely.
So you whack as hell for letting this man just run his head into a brick wall. But I can kind of see the angle of, yeah, I'm going to get paid off this regardless. So I don't think he really give a fuck about Takashi.
Man, and you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. As I say, what's up to Philip Banks? And let me type if y'all can hear us, because we got to adjust the audio because we're in the same room having this conversation. And I know this is not how the joint Facebook Live is supposed to go, or the IG Live is supposed to go, but that's what we got to do here on the Banging on Lunch Tables podcast. And Philip Banks chimes in. He said, that boy going to catch one ass whooping he can't shake off in a second.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So now let's talk about that. Let's break down that, because I won't lie. I felt him on the Houston situation.
I can't front either. It did make sense. If that's how it transpired, I feel him. It's oh man. But you know what? This comes from like having a lot of respect, immense respect for Jay Prince.
Okay.
If you seen me in the store, there was no heat. We right here.
Right.
You ain't do nothing.
Right.
But then you see me a couple days later and it's all this rah whatever.
Right.
That's whack.
That's sucker shit.
That's whack.
That's sucker shit. Let's call it what it is. It's sucker
whack.
shit because here's the deal. And I felt both of them. His OG, I think is what, Trey or something like that?
Yeah, Trey or something like that.
And
Trey Hardway or something like that.
Yeah, and Takashi, because they were like, Jay Prince's son is Jay Prince's son. And the first thing I thought of when the whole situation was even talked about, I was like, Jay Prince Jr. in the streets? Like, he's a street dude?
I didn't know.
I was totally confused by that. And I was confused for the simple fact is I was like, now we know your pops is, a Houston legend for
sure,
for a myriad of reasons. And but I'm sure when you were born, you know what I'm saying,
his name was already solidified.
Exactly. I was like, I know Jay Prince Jr. as the guy who, quote, discovered Drake.
Yeah, and that's about it.
Made sure the Wayne situation happened and all of that. So when he was like, yeah, so they pulled up on me at the shoe store and it was I need to check in with him, huh? What? Why? Why? Why am I checking in with the son of a gangster? Like,
right.
Why?
Yeah, true.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not even in the space to need to do that.
Nah.
So like when they were like and then now to his other point. And this is like, now everybody wanna, like, this is for this, if you believe in street cred, then this ain't for you, what I'm about to say.
Okay.
But if you believe in logic and being a human being, then and business, and everybody wanna make money. Y'all say y'all believe in money, y'all believe in business. Well then here, this is for you then. When he said that they were on the stage and it looked like it was gonna be a problem, he felt uncomfortable, like the temperature, the energy had changed. And he didn't perform or whatever. And now some people are like, oh, but no, you so G'd up, you so hard, you supposed to do this. It's like, nah. That's actually the dumb move. No, he actually did right. Like, no, you know what? We out, but y'all still owe me because I showed up. Y'all got a situation where I can't do my thing for the people that paid, but I'm out. Because here's the thing. Let's say Takashi 6ix 9ine is everything that he say he is, so is his crew, and they see them, they want the static, and they start shooting at them niggas.
Troy Ave all over again.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Exactly. Innocent people are getting hurt. Jay Prince Jr. maybe dies, or somebody in his entourage dies, somebody in Takashi's entourage dies. Like, what if because they the only ones claiming the streets and the blood game, what if his whole crew unarmed, they really came there to shoot the fade and get shot up?
Yeah.
Because he had to prove he was the gangster that he said he was on Instagram.
One thing I know is that you don't run head first into a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to play it smart. This is chess, not checkers. You know what I'm saying? And for him to just be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to show you how tough I am. Nah, if you got 10 guys and he got 100 guys, this ain't 300, fam. I'm not about to just run into you just because to prove something to motherfuckers that don't matter.
Right. And I'm not about to get the busting in a venue and ruin my life.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Come on, man. Like, and that's
I
the
did
thing.
respect all that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like when they got into that story, I was like, okay, I get it. Like, because I honestly, and I think the thing is people want to pass him off as being so stupid and reckless and having like no idea what he's doing. But no, to me, the kid looked very self-aware and truly understood like what this is.
Yeah.
Like he has a grasp on reality versus the music business versus the streets, and he might really be in all three. I'm not here. I'm 30 plus. I don't give a fuck what this kid is doing. Like, he just was able to get into 21 and up clubs. I don't give a fuck
Real
what
shit.
he's doing.
Real
you know
shit.
What I'm saying? And which was another great point that I feel that he made. He was like, everybody beefing with me should be taking care of their families. He was like, these niggas is 30 plus, 40. Like, and he's right. Like, A-Boogie and Don Q don't say nothing to him.
Right. True.
Cardi B, 25. She don't say nothing to him.
Nope.
I mean, shit, Hal Davies is 30. He don't say nothing to him. You
Nope.
know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, you know, all these other kids, 21 Savage, Ugly God.
Why do you care what Takashi 6ix9ine is saying?
Exactly. It's like, you know, because the King of New York thing, I mean, look, nobody said anything when Mano said he the King of Brooklyn either.
Yep.
You know, nobody said nothing when Uncle Murder said he was the King of New York.
True.
He's like, this is my city. These other niggas don't run shit.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
Like, so I mean, I look at that all in one perspective and one perspective only. It's like, are you mad because it's the Hispanic kid that looks like that's doing it? Like,
probably
rainbow hair, rainbow teeth. He has so many 69s on his body that it's obviously equals an infinite number. Like, it obviously does. And I really sat there and I was just like, man, I guess if I was such a homer to where I was, this would offend me. I guess. But at the same time, I'm a grown ass man. I don't give a fuck what this little nigga is doing. Like,
right, true.
Why would I care? Me at 30 plus, whether I'm in rap or not. You know what I'm saying? Why would I care? Like, if I was I mean, and I'm not saying Casanova does. But why should he care?
You know what though? I think that's more so the gang culture coming into play. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about Bloods and Crips like that. I'm from Chicago, Gary, Indiana, that area. So I know GD's, Vice Lords, all that.
Yeah.
But what I do know is people don't like you representing their culture wrong. You know what I'm saying? If you claim to be affiliated with an organization, a gang, clique, club, whatever, people hate it when you false flag. That's one thing I know for a fact. And I think that's where a lot of this heat stems from. At the same time, fuck what dude is talking about, he gonna get exposed one way or the other. But at the same time, people take that real personal. Like, I watched a video, some dude, Slim 400, he was on This Is 50. He was talking about it's blood on that. You know what I'm saying? It's people who have given their lives for Bloods and Crips, and Gangsta Disciples, Vice Lords, all that stuff. So people do feel a ways about it, like, nah, you're not repping this right. I think the way people are going about it gives him more attention versus giving him game. You know what I'm saying? If you was to be like, yo, fam, let me just holler at you real quick. You know what I'm saying? He kind of invites situations, like Charlamagne kept saying, you kind of inviting these situations on you by saying, I'm that nigga, I don't gotta check in. If that's the culture that has been built up, and checking in ain't necessarily bad. It ain't like, yeah, you gotta give me 40 grand to be good out here. It could just be like, yo, like, I'm out here. Like, what's good out here? I just want to make sure, you know, we good. Like, I want to pay homage.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Now, to your point,
I
think Nipsey Hussle broke it down the best.
Okay.
Because he was like, he said, because he said, now, this is West Coast Crip. He said checking in is basically a form of extortion.
Right. Yeah.
So he was like, so basically, and in my mind, and this is just how, like, if I'm the street guy, if I'm G'd up or B'd up, whatever it is, whatever I am, I listen to what Nipsey said. I ain't checking in either. Fuck you, man.
True.
Like, fuck you, mean? I ain't checking in with no fucking body. And the thing is, and he was like, having relationships and checking in is two different things. He's like, I got relationships with people. He was like, and I don't do the whole check-in thing. Like, you ain't got to check. You don't check in with me. Like, he just dismissed the whole thing about it. Okay. So I was like, okay. So now, if I'm Takashi 6ix9ine and I hear that,
somebody from that area.
You know what I'm saying? New school, like new era.
Right.
You know, respected by the OGs. And he out there putting it out there like, man, I'm not, he's like, it's extortion, but I'm not in that mix. I don't
participate.
Then I would be like, yeah, okay. So I'm not going to succumb to the extortion of some off-brand niggas who might not even be in the gangs themselves.
Ooh, like, yeah, true.
Because here's the thing. the world is so big, but it's small.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, everybody wants to prove that Takashi 6ix9ine is not a blood or not in the gang or whatever. But who are all these niggas letting him slide? He's not the only one in his videos.
True.
He's not on the green screen in the studio in an undisclosed location. This nigga's on the street.
Yeah.
With hundreds of men and women.
Yeah.
Red flags, banging.
And he giving out his address, like he said.
Yeah, he giving out his address. He kissing dogs in the mouth. They got assault rifles. Like, the kid is living. He's doing whatever the fuck he wants.
Right.
And so then when I see a Casanova video, and the first thing I look for, I was like, well, who are the same faces in these videos? Because, like, unless this is two different neighborhoods and it's two different blocks,
yeah,
I'm expecting the same bloods to be in both of these videos.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, fame has no color.
Right. Everybody want to be down.
Right. Fame has no color. Well, no, fame's color is green because you think you're gonna get rich.
You want to get that money.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I look at that and I'm like, if he was so fake, and he's a kid, somebody would have pulled up. Chicagoland area. We've seen kids pull up for less with no gang, with their own gang. Like, not to bring up, you know, bad things about Chicago kids because they're on the road right now in a positive sense, so I wouldn't even go there. But the thing is, you know, we know a drive-by occurred when the kid was on a bike. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We know kids that was supposedly just rapping that got murdered. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't really no gang-affiliated thing, and everybody was supposed to be real in that. So, if Takashi doesn't really have a relationship with nobody on the West Coast, and he doesn't want to check in, I think that falls right in line with who he says he is on wax and on the ground. You know what?
I get where Nipsey is coming from, but that's his city. So if he say it's a form of extortion, then that's what it is. I think the word checking in has a negative connotation, but if it's got the built in, I got to give you 40, then I feel you. Mm-hmm. But if it's just like, yo, I want to meet y'all OGs out here, who is the people that y'all respect, so I could come show love, you know what I'm saying? Right. I guess it could turn into that, like, yeah, so for you to be, like, just to meet them will be like, yeah, 30 grand, and we'll put the stamp on you. So I can see that. But the way Takashi is going about it, even though I did like it, it was like 50 Cent energy to me. Yeah. It was like, absolutely. Like, I don't give no fuck who gonna touch me. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Which I think he's invited negative energy his way by saying that, because everybody like you said, people want to get famous. Yeah. So, like, but I still was like, hey, man, you can't deny that. Like, hey, he got some balls on. He's like, he kept saying, I let my nuts hang. Like, all right, come do something then.
Yeah. And you know what? And honestly, and as much as Charlamagne, I'll get into him in a second. Mm-hmm. Whoa, that sounded crazy. Well, we'll get into what he said to him in a second. Right. I was like, you know, this is the same person that was like, he loved the fact that Fredro Starr like got in his face and went off on him. He was like, yeah, you know, I want my street rappers to behave street to me. Yeah. Like, when I meet him. Takashi did what you essentially asked for.
But that's only because Fredro is older than Charlamagne. So as a shorty, Charlamagne saw Onyx. It was like, I want them to be exactly who they say they are. But I'm older than you. I know better. I don't want these kids growing up to be like that. That's how he kind of looking at it. Like, he looking at him like, man, this is what we got to stop doing as older people in hip-hop. You got to stop looking at people that, like, even though it's just time, you got to stop looking at people that's 21, 22, like, oh, man, that's a fucking child. Yeah. Nah, that's a man who grips pistols. The same shit that you thought you was on at 22, they think they on at 22, if not worse. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So you got to relax on that. You a kid. Nah, that's a man right there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And that's what, look, if you can vote, get into the clubs and buy a gun and alcohol, you're an adult.
You're right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, granted, he's a young person to him, you know what I'm saying? But that's not that's not for him to call him a kid just because of the way he looks. And I mean, of course, he does have his whole life ahead of him. But still, that's not a reason to be like, oh, well, you know, you're a kid, you shouldn't be doing this. I keep it unilateral. Mm-hmm. If you a gangster, be a gangster all the time.
All the way.
Like, I don't care how old you are, but if that's what you claim, I want no chill. I want no chill.
Oh, no, none.
100 miles an hour every single day. Like, I mean, we just talked about this a few weeks ago. 50 Cent, Rick Ross is on life support. He posts Ivan Drago. Yes, I expect nothing else. If he had prayers for Ross, I would have unfollowed him. I would have unfollowed him. I probably would have blocked him. So I was like, no,
nope,
dude,
you ain't living what you say.
You're not. 10 years ago, up until like this day, it was fuck dude life forever. Mm-hmm. Now it's pray for him. Oh no. No. Gorilla.
Keep that same energy.
Gorilla unit, cuz they say we bugged out.
Dog, when he was like, I'll spray your mama crib and have that ass look for me.
Right.
One of the hardest lines I ever heard.
Come on, man. That ain't the person that's praying for nobody.
Nobody.
That he didn't like before.
Yep.
Now to get into Charlamagne's comment to Takashi, he said he's like, you'll be dead in a year with this type of energy, and don't get me wrong, I get what he meant,
right?
But here's my thing, and before I go into my general idea, and this is really all the young people, we can't keep shitting on these kids and then want them to listen and respect us.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Charlamagne don't know this kid, obviously.
Right.
And obviously he felt a way about people they know or whatever. Like, he beat up one of his homies. That's what they saying. Like, my crew beat up one of your niggas. Like, whatever.
Right.
DJ Academics has something to do with this. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I don't even get it.
Right. Fuck that dude.
Right. But I was like, like you can't tell, and you can't tell a kid like that, oh, you'll be dead in a year. And he was like, how? He was like, why? Like, why I gotta die? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
true.
And I really thought about it. I was like, yeah, he's right. And the thing is that, honestly, to me, 6ix9ine is doing what a lot of people say they will do, but will not do.
Right.
And that is pull everybody's whole card to really prove who really doing what out here.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, if his problem is with older people, that means these kids fuck with him. But these young people fuck with him. I want to call everybody kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if nobody his age is pulling up on him wanting to smoke, then obviously nothing is going to happen.
He doing something right.
Right. Because if you're 37 and you pulling up on Takashi 6ix9ine with the ratchet, you're the fucking problem. Not him. Something is wrong with you.
That's real. That's really real.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
So for him to be like, oh man, you'll be dead in a year with this attitude and with this energy, and it's like, man, like you're coming from a perspective of somebody, one, that's not really in the street. I think two, don't really understand what this kid is doing, and whether it is harmless trolling that he's willing to back up and prove, so be it. That's what he wants to do. I think if anything, speaking that into existence for a person is worse than the person that you think is committing the type of propaganda. And I'll call it propaganda because we don't know what's fact or fiction.
True.
That he's even, doing. You know what I'm saying?
Two things to me. One is Charlamagne has gotten older, so he's eventually grown out of that mindset, which he's supposed to.
Right,
like,
absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
You have grown past thinking like that. My thing is the way you're viewing it. Like, he's older, so his viewing is skewed. My thing is, in 2002, would you have said the same shit to 50 Cent?
Exactly.
You gonna be with the shits.
Right.
Everybody, like, my thing is,
50 was older than Takashi at that point,
and was totally fine with all of the bullshit. Like, everybody was cheering it on, clapping, and all this other stuff. My thing is, as older hip hop fans, you gotta remember where you were. Yeah, we grow, we get better, but you gotta understand, this is how kids think, or younger people think. This is where they are, and when I was that age, I loved it. I was with all of it. Fuck what you talking about, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely. Nah, who want it?
Yeah.
And you probably carried the same energy. Now, we grow, like I said, we grow past that, and we understand, like, that you don't really want to carry that around.
Right.
But when people was telling you that at 21, 20, you're like, man, get the fuck out of here with that old ass shit, man. Exactly. Who want it, man? I'm scrapping with everybody.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? And I think we, before I get into my last point, I want to say, I think we discount that every young man between the ages of 20 to 23 think they the hardest niggas on earth.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, you're Teflon at that age. And even kids who had never been in a fight in their life, they swear they're the hardest thing on two legs between the ages of 20 to 23. You know what I'm saying? They really do. And honestly, I'm far removed from that age, but I'm not. But I watch young people.
Yeah.
And I get it. You know, you should feel invincible because you know why? They tell you when you out of high school, you grown.
Yeah.
And you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Who gonna tell me what?
Right, you know what I'm saying? And don't let you get your own place. Don't let you be getting no pussy. Don't let you be getting no money. Then it's like, nigga, fuck everybody on the planet. I run shit. I run shit forever. What the fuck are you talking to? You're not talking to me.
Yep.
You know, like, and so that's I think people don't. And I hate when OGs or just older people like us, 30 pluses. We then start to shit on the young cats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they feel how we felt. But just because they can see it on social media, and you got a couple that are willing to take it to an extreme that many others can't or maybe won't, and they want to chastise them for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To me, and Takashi 6ix 9ine is a prime representation of like a lot of the younger artists, younger today. Like this is what happens when we shit on the young people. Like when the OGs shit on the young people and be like, "Well, nigga, figure it out. I ain't helping you with shit. Figure it out." And then they do. And then you're like, okay, then when they figure it out, and now they don't need you, then it's fuck your life forever.
Yep.
Now we mad. It can't be like that. It can't be like that at all.
Then you're supposed to check in.
Right. Exactly. And he was probably like, who the fuck was checking on me when I didn't have shit?
Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I say this all the time when it comes to, and this is primarily about like street and gang culture. Like once they took the OGs off the block, or the ones that got locked up, where was everybody else to like keep guiding? They be like, man, these young kids, they ain't got no OGs, they was wilding. Somebody should have stepped in and been like, we gonna keep some structure around here. We gonna make sure that this continues. Right. But after that, it became a vacuum, and everybody was like, man, we gonna get money. Yep. Like, nah, all right, okay, this is the product of that. Exactly. And then when an older person tried to step in, I turned my back, man, fuck what you talking about, bro. Look, this is how I feel about blah, 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 blah. And that is the result, man. You seeing it. Like, and you can't get mad because where were you? You know what I'm saying? If you are older and you were really mad about the culture going somewhere, like, and that's street, gang culture, or whatever, where were you stepping in, checking in on the shorties to make sure when they got older, they wasn't like, nah, fuck that. Like, I'm blooded up. I'm G'd up, whatever the case may be.
Right. Exactly. No, I totally agree. You hit the nail right on the head, so we might as well close it out. Shout out to Philip Banks. I'm trying to read all the comments, y'all. I know some of y'all was laughing because we had great conversation on the Banging on Lunch Tables podcast. Philip Banks said, keep grinding. He loves the show.
Thanks, bro.
Tell him everything about it. They started hitting people with that Rico.
Yep, definitely took him off the streets.
Shout out to the neighborhood barber. That's got to be one of your homies.
Yep.
If you're following me, I'm sorry. I apologize. But if not, thank you. We appreciate you tuning in.
Much love.
I will say before we close out into Takashi, and we'll hop back online later in the evening if y'all want to talk some more. But yeah, man. I just again, that's why. This is why, like, the first time I was called Big Bro, I took it seriously. Yeah. And I don't try to son my young homies. I don't become like, oh, yo, this is my little bro, and I'm grabbing niggas and trying to give noogies and wedges and bullshit like that. No. But I'm just always open to just talk. Yeah. And just because you know what, when they do reach out like that, or they do show you some kind of love, that means they want you to reach out to them. Yeah. And they want to learn. They want to be taught some things. They want to be given some game. And I'm not no street nigga. I've never have been. I know street people. You know what I'm saying? But I know how to navigate through life as a black man in America. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Move smart.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And I've lived in enough cities and states to where I can offer something to the young people. So whenever they reach out to me or they hit me up or they just be like, yo, Cam, you the homie, you the big homie, whatever. It's like I take it serious and I let them live their life, but I be like, yo, you might want to relax on that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because and sometimes I think we gotta be aware of like what's in people's chemical makeup. Like, true. Because like real shit. It is some niggas out here that is just hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
yeah,
niggas is fucking granite. Like, they're like they are the street.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They are not to be fucked with. Like they'll press you, they'll pressure you, and they'll be like that until they in the casket. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nothing you can do about that. Maybe young Takashi is one of those type of people. You know what I'm saying? Like
maybe so,
because he seems to not give a fuck. Yeah. Like.
And we all know that is the dude. Like, the type of people that really don't give a fuck, them is the dudes you don't play with because they'll slap the shit out you. They down to fight, shoot, whatever, because they really don't care. Like, man, I don't give no fuck about that shit. Right. Like, man, I don't give a fuck. And, like, they be trying to let you know. The only thing I think about Takashi that, I guess you could say tricks people, his size. Yeah. and his hair. Like
Yeah.
the fact that like, because we automatically associate like rainbow with girl, gay,
Yep, the
or
LGBT
soft.
community. Like,
Yeah,
right.
So you automatically put that on him when it's like, nah, man, you might see all that shit, but this shit is something
Yeah.
else. Like,
Right.
play with me if you want to.
Absolutely. And he, again, that's why I think the kid is so self-aware. Self-aware. Sorry for calling him a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, I got rainbow hair and rainbow teeth. He was like, I look fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, when you know that,
Mm-hmm.
that's almost like, and I dare a nigga to come up on me with some bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready for whatever.
Like, don't let this shit fool
Right,
you.
you know what I'm saying? He literally went like, I'm literally not going to look the traditional way of tough just to see who really want to fuck with me.
Hey, and think about it though. Like, just say for instance, because he was dissing like YG and shit.
Yeah,
Imagine the damage it would do to YG if he got his ass whooped by Takashi
man, buddy,
on the West Coast.
bruh.
I'm saying.
And you know what? And YG is in his 30s now too. I think they're actually 30 or 31.
Probably
right
so,
now.
yeah.
And the thing is that he won all the smoke now. And the thing is, and now this is just me playing by the street rules that I was taught.
Yeah.
And I didn't follow because of what I'm about to say right now.
Right.
He shouldn't have been on Twitter. He shouldn't have made a video.
Mm-hmm.
If it was really that real and he wanted the smoke, he books a flight, he goes to New York, he pulls up, and let that happen. Because they both bloods.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, and my thing is this, and I get what everybody is. But you promote violence. No, I'm promoting street niggas being street niggas.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
They gonna do this shit regardless if we say something about it or not. That shit's gonna happen.
Exactly. I mean, like that, and I'm a 80s baby, 90s adolescent and teen. Niggas pulled up.
Yeah.
Like
That's what it was.
Like I've seen a lot of fights start from, so nigga, what's that shit you told Jermaine? Like,
For real. Yep.
Like, you telling bitches I'm doing what? Like,
yep.
And you gotta turn around and go, oh wait, hold on, what the fuck? And you getting swung on. Like that's what I know.
That's
like,
what
if a note got passed in English, you got beat up at lunch. Like,
yeah,
that's what it was.
Bro, one of the fights I've been in my life was because a nigga he took my bike. I was like, and I knew who did it. I was like, when I catch that nigga, I'm gonna fuck him up. Ran into him. Like, I had to walk around my neighborhood for like 2 hours looking for this nigga to find my bike, get my bike back. He was back at the spot where he got the bike from. It was like, hey man, I heard you was talking shit about me and you was gonna fuck me up when you see me. And you know what I had to do? I had to throw them hands,
right,
man.
Right. Okay, he's aware. Let me hit him now. so it's no confusion. Like, I don't want to give him a chance to like wind up. Like,
right.
I'm gonna get him first, and that's gonna be it. No, and you did right.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what the energy is. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, because I mean, hey, when we have fights, those are street moments.
Yeah.
And it's fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? But you can't pop off. And like, this ain't the message sending era. No.
No.
It's like, no, like, again, a pass note would get your ass beat by the end of by the end of the afternoon.
Yep.
And you know what I'm saying? In my time, and when I was a young person growing up. So, I mean, hey,
it really shows you that these cats are really too busy worried about this as you are tweeting that you are, because you're very busy. You have a schedule. You have studio time. You have a show to do. You are not really worried about any of that shit.
Right, exactly. And you know what? And they don't have time to be, which is even more interesting to me why we get so hyped for these moments. As a hip hop community, I'm not saying us, like for the hip hop community. You know what I'm saying?
And like, it's even interesting to me. Like, even though I understand where Game was coming from, I don't. And I don't see why everybody was so excited. Like, Game, this is somebody new every couple years. Like, he's continuously been in beefs, like, his whole career. Right. And some of them more, like, shaky than others. Like, the Meek Mill shit. Like, there was no resolve to that. Like, like now, what is Free Meek Mill or whatever? Right. You know what I'm saying? And this shit, it was like, all right, I feel you, but, fam, you big blood. Like, you like, you been had, like, Takashi was kind of exposing that shit. Yeah. Why are you worried about what I'm doing over here? Like, and he ain't said nothing about Game first. Now, I can definitely understand if somebody strike it first. But, fam, like, why you even care? Right. You know what I'm saying? Just let him come out to LA and get taxed. Or not.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Final word as we move on from this, even though this was a great conversation, I love this. If you were a rapper who had, quote, beef, and you ever ran the Farrakhan to squash your shit, leave Takashi alone. Leave him alone.
You too old.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, I was like, because the thing is like, because now nobody's, again, us disregarding the young people. Nobody's stepping in these young niggas shit.
No.
Like, everybody ran the Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying?
When it was heating up out here.
99 to 07. I'm just, oh man, we need to get Farrakhan on the phone. He needs to squash this. It's like, but now Takashi is like, no. He was like, not only is they're not saying anybody can squash this, it was like nobody's gonna pull up on me. And honestly, I believe him. Now, whoever wants to play by the street rules as intended, as the manufacturer intended, feel free. He's available.
Right. He's with the shits, as they say.
So you know what I'm saying? So that's that. Hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in onto the IG Live. We talked to Takashi 6ix 9ine for the Banging on Lunch Tables podcast.
Let's go.
The whole episode will be up on Audio Mac and on Mixcloud. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. Until next time, of course, be safe, be humble, live hip hop, but not for y'all listening on the audio.
We still here. We still here.
We got one more topic.
Don't go nowhere.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all missed the whole hour of the show before we even got to this.
Yeah.
So y'all make sure y'all hit up that Audio Mac. Make sure you hit up that Mixcloud. Click on our shit. We
promote
every damn week. All right?
Fucks with it.